Running a law firm is expensive between your salaries, your rent, legal research tools, gosh, AI, technology costs. They can quickly eat into your profits, especially when client payments are delayed. In this video, you're going to learn practical expense management strategies tailored for law firms. I'll cover the biggest expenses, smart cost control tactics, best tools, and real examples of what actually works. So stick around to the end for some actionable steps that you can implement this month. Why expense management matters in law firms is that effective expense management is one of the few levers that you control when your billing rates are under pressure. It protects the cash flow, improves profitability, and creates financial stability even in the slow months, because we all have our slow months, right? For us, some are kind of slow. So, more importantly, it's going to build a firm wide culture and cost awareness without sacrificing the quality of the service to your clients, which is also important. And small and mid sized firms especially benefit because they don't have the deep reserves that the larger practices have. So, what are some common and expensive law firm costs? We'll just go over the usual suspects. Salaries and benefits, number one expense at most law firms. Often it's 50 to 60% of the total expenses. Competitive pay is essential, right? You want to get good people, but bonuses, insurance, and retirement plans, that all going to add up fast. Of course, your office rent and utilities, especially if you're in a prime location, that can also be costly. Legal research databases, CLEs, publications, your technology, AI, your software subscriptions, another big category in today's world. And marketing and professional development, those are all pretty hefty, have a pretty hefty price tag to them. So the key is knowing which cost drives value and which is just overhead. I'm going to give you some proven strategies right now for some expense management. Here's what actually works. Number one, a real-time expense tracking. Implement a system that captures every receipt and categorizes all the spending automatically. You could be looking at Ramp, you can look at Dext, Divvy's another one. You could look at any of those to kind of track the expenses, especially if the firm starts to get big and unruly, you got multiple people working for you. You want to be able to track all the expenses perfectly and make sure that they're categorized and you know where the spending is happening. Make them have to put the category in. That's another piece. You want clear expense policies. You don't want someone having a card that they can go out and buy a lot of meals. Make sure you set limits on travel, meals, supplies, and require that you have approvals on any big items. So train your team so that everyone is aligned on this. It's very important because you can't ring the bell when the money's been spent. Vendor negotiations, review the contracts every year. Insurance, one that you really should be looking at. Negotiate rates, switch providers if you have to, like office supplies, software. Sometimes software, we try not to buy it annually, even though there's usually a deal with that, because a lot of times you're locked in and then there might be another software out there that's better, that can serve you better. So don't lock in annually, even if there is a discount. Smart budgeting. You want smart budgeting. Get a budget in place and make sure that the budget's kind of locked in. So some of these programs like Rampant, you could use even Relay Bank where you've got the lockdown on the expenses, where you have to require approvals. But put a budget on the numbers and try to stick to the budget that you want to spend for all the department heads and make sure that's reviewed monthly in a budget meeting. Tools and technologies, don't skip out on this. Please don't use a spreadsheet. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm talking about spreadsheets. But expense management, use the apps. If you're tracking mileage, use the apps. Use receipt scanning. You want to have receipts for everything. Don't just go with it without a receipt. Cloud accounting software, real-time dashboards, you want this. You want the integration with your practice management system. You want to connect your Clio and your QuickBooks, or your Clio and your Xero, or your Lien Law and your QuickBooks. You want that connection there. You want to have the automation in place so that everything is accurately ported over. And if you are using a practice management platform, use the AI tools so you can start to automate and document the processes, review the routine tasks, look at the routine tasks, see what maybe AI can help do the lift on. Maybe free up some of your billable hours that way. Maybe cutting administrative costs. Overhead reduction too. You might want to look into that. Maybe you're doing more hybrid work and you not need such a big office space. Adopt some energy efficient practices. Maybe it's just a matter of putting a remotely controlled heat and air conditioning system in place so that you can keep track of that and regulate that. And then regularly shop your insurance policies. Don't just always renew. I wish you could. It's a lot of work to do, but I mean, get somebody in place that can actually check and make sure that they're the same thing. You're not buying apples and then buying oranges, and the oranges are way cheaper, and then all of a sudden you're not covered. So make sure that you're comparing them properly, but also make sure that you look at them every year, because I can tell you that's a place you can save money. We know of one mid-sized firm that really was doing a lot of hybrid work, and they were able to cut their rent dramatically. And they invested in some more cloud tools that helped them improve their finances, improve their employee satisfaction as well, and kept their customers happy. Important, right? Or even a boutique firm that we worked with that switched to a cloud practice management tool. Instead of really automating all the systems, they had all the systems all over the place and they funneled it all down to one. They got rid of a server. Those are expensive to manage, right? You shouldn't be on desktop products at this point in time in 2026. And these firms just prove that you can reduce costs while still staying competitive. So what's your action plan? Okay. Number one, set up and upgrade your expense tracking system. You might have to invest a little bit into your Dext or your Divvy or your Ramp, but get that done now so that you're not missing any of the expenses and that they're all being covered and you've got a control on the system. Create and update your firm's expense policy. I know this is the time consuming stuff, but usually it's slower in the summer. So start to look at that. Schedule a budget review meeting with your key stakeholders, and then audit your biggest vendor contracts and see if there's any chance of saving opportunities. Mastering law firm expense management is an ongoing process, but the payoff can be huge. You'll get stronger profits, right? More money in your pocket, better cash flow, and long term stability. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe for more law firm finance tips, or comment below. What is your biggest expense challenge right now? I read every comment and may feature the answer in a future video. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.